Members, we're going to go back now to file item 140. Senator Runner, you prepared to bring this item forward? Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 517 by Assemblymember Gallagher and according to sexual health education.
Senator Runner.
Hi, thank you, Mr. President and members. As a senator from San Diego spoke about when I first told you about this bill, Planned Parenthood has sent out an alert just yesterday, and they have the author had taken some language that they wanted removed, and that was this summer, and they've had plenty of time to talk to the author about another amendment, and they haven't done so, and we just heard about it today. And this bill is consistent with the current education codes, and it's all about parents' ability to have a knowledgeable conversation with their children, and they deserve that. Whether it's Planned Parenthood, HIV educators, or even crisis pregnancy centers that are coming in off the regular grid of their health education in their schools, I think parents need to know what is happening and the ability to see who those people are that are coming to talk to their students and their children, and they should have the final authority whether they want their students in those classes or not. So I would urge an aye vote, and again, it's been through all kinds of committees, had no opposition until yesterday with this new situation here. So I would urge an aye vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Runner. Members, debate or discussion? Senator Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to be clear, there are other organizations that are in opposition to the bill, one of which is the largest school district in the country, LAUSD. And as we've spoken earlier today about concerns around unanticipated costs, or costs in general, as we've talked about priorities, LAUSD, whose letter has been on file since September 3rd, talks about AB 517 creating administrative burdens on all California schools teaching sexual health or education. Permission to read, Mr. President? Permission to read, Mr. President?
Absolutely.
Thank you. The letter states that the provisions of the bill allow for a parent or guardian, as we all know, of a student to make copies of sexual health education materials and mandates that school establish mechanisms to offset some of the costs. So we have a situation where we've got students in classes who don't have enough textbooks to go around, where we know our schools are strapped, but this bill would mandate that the schools make copies on site and available to parents based on this one curriculum. I wish that we would mandate that every student had an Algebra 2 book and all the other curriculum that they need. That's probably much more critical to their passing the KC and getting their A through G pattern. Based on my school district's opposition, based on their concerns of fiscal concerns, I will be voting no and ask others to consider doing the same.
Thank you, Senator Mitchell. Further discussion, debate, members?
Can I close?
Seeing none, Senator Runner, would you like to close?
Thank you, Senator from Los Angeles. Actually, in this bill, the parents have to pay the 10 cents a copy to get the copy of that. They can take that and give it to them. Maybe the school districts will make money. I don't know. I don't know how many parents in my school district or yours will actually go to this trouble to do this. I mean, I don't expect it to be a lot, but I believe as parents, they need to know what and who is coming to those classrooms and talking to their children outside of their regular health education and classes that need to do that. So I would still appreciate an aye vote. There is no appropriation. Got through appropriations in the Senate with a 2880. So I would urge an aye vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Runner. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Anderson? Aye. Bates? Aye. Bell? No. Berryhill? Aye. Block? No. Canella? Aye. De Leon? Fuller? Aye. Gaines?
Aye.
Aye. Galgiani? No. Glazer? Hall? No. Hancock? No. Hernandez? Hertzberg? Hill? Aye. Wesso? No. Huff? Aye. Jackson? No. Lotta? No. Leno? No. Leva? No. Lou? Aye. McGuire? No. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? No. Monning? No. Morlock? Aye. Morrell? Aye. Wynn? Aye. Nilsson? Aye. Pan? No. Pavley? Roth? Runner? Aye. Stone? Aye. Vidak? Aye. Wykowski? No. Wolk? Wolk, no.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Allen? De Leon? Glazer? Hernandez? Hertzberg? Pavley? Roth?
Senator Runner moves the call. Members, we're going to lift the calls. We're going to start with file item 117. Secretary, please call. Oh, excuse me. Members, we're going back to file item 117. We're lifting the call. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Berryhill? Wykowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Ayes 26, noes 13. Measure passes. File item 118. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Monning? Aye.
Ayes 40, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 119. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Fuller? Aye. Hall? Aye. Monning? Aye. Wynn?
Ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 121. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Anderson? Aye. De Leon? Fuller? Aye. Hall? Aye. Monning? Aye. Wynn? Aye. Aye.
Ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 122. Secretary, please read. Or
Fuller.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Aye. Monning? Aye. Morrell? Aye. Wykowski? Aye. Wynn? Aye.
Ayes 40, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 123. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Fuller? Aye. Leva? Aye. Wynn? Aye. Wykowski? Aye. Aye.
Ayes 40, noes 0 on the urgency. Ayes 40, noes 0 on the measure. File item 124. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon? Fuller? No. Galgiani? Aye. Huff? No. Wynn? No. Wykowski? Aye.
Ayes 25, noes 14. Measure passes. File item 125. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon? Fuller? Wykowski? Aye. Fuller, aye.
Ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 127. Secretary, please read. Or please call the absent members.
Anderson? Bates? Aye. Anderson, I. De Leon. Fuller. I. Mendoza. I. Wykowski. Aye.
Ayes 38, noes 1 on the urgency. Ayes 38, noes 1 on the measure. File item 129. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Jackson. I. Pan. I. Runner. Aye.
Ayes 40, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 130. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Jackson. I. Mendoza. Aye.
Ayes 40, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 132. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Gaines. Hall. I. Huff. Jackson. I. Mitchell. I. Pavley. I. Runner. Runner, no.
Ayes 28, noes 9. Measure passes. File item 134. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Huff. Pavley. Aye.
Ayes 38, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 135. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Hall. I. Pavley. I. Runner.
Ayes 34, noes 4. Measure passes. File item 136. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Berryhill. I. Galgiani. Hall. I. Jackson. I. Nielsen. Pavley. Galgiani, I. Pavley, I.
Ayes 39, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 137. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Anderson. I. Fuller. Hertzberg. Jackson. I. Pavley. Aye.
Ayes 38, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 138. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Fuller. Glazer. Hertzberg. Jackson. I. Pavley. I. Vidak. Aye. Glazer, aye.
Ayes 37, noes 0. Measure passes. File item 139. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Fuller. Galgiani. Hertzberg. Jackson. I. Morlock. I. Pavley. Aye. Galgiani, aye. Hertzberg, aye.
Ayes 26, noes 12. Measure passes. File item 140. Secretary, please call the absent members.
Allen. Aye. De Leon. Glazer. Hernandez. Hertzberg. Pavley. Roth.
Senator Runner moves the call.
Our last one is 142.
File item 142. Secretary, please call the absent members.
De Leon. Fuller. Galgiani. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hueso. I. Leno. I. Mendoza. Galgiani, aye. Mendoza, aye.
Ayes 38, noes 0. Measure passes. All right, members, we are going to keep moving forward on the Assembly third reading until 5:40, at which time we will move to unfinished business, and we will conclude at 6 o'clock. So let us begin with file item 149. Senator Hill, are you prepared to bring this measure forward? Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1042 by Assemblymember Cooper and according to professions and vocations.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, AB 1042 makes several changes to the definition of a proprietary private security officer to ensure that individuals providing these security services are properly trained and licensed. AB 1042 will also make other updates to the payment of wages for employees of security companies. There is no opposition to the bill, no known opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Members, debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Aye. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wachowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Morrell, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Allen. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
Aye.
Aye. Glazer. Aye. Huff. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Nilsson.
Ayes 36, no 0. Measure passes. Members, we're going to now move to file item 150, Senator Block. Pass on file. File item 151, Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 180 by Assemblymember Bonilla and according to professions and vocations and making an appropriation therefore.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, AB 180 extends the sunset date of the Cemetery and Funeral Bureau and implements recommendations from the March Oversight Sunset Review. There is no known opposition to the bill. I respectfully ask for your aye vote, members.
Thank you very much, Senator Hill. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none. Ayes 39, no 0. Measure passes. File item 152, Senator Hill. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 177 by Assemblymember Bonilla and according to professions and vocations and making appropriation therefore.
Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, AB 177 extends the sunset date for the Board of Professional Engineers, Land Surveyors, and Geologists, the California Architects Board, and the Landscape Architects Technical Committee. This bill also addresses several issues raised during the sunset review to better enable these boards and committees to carry out their regulatory duties. There is no known opposition to the bill, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote, members.
Thank you, Senator Hill. Members, any debate or discussion? Seeing none, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none. Ayes 39, no 0. Measure passes. Members, we're going to move now to file item 153. Senator Jackson. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 552 by Assemblymember O'Donnell and Act relating to public contracts.
Senator Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, AB 552 seeks to provide greater certainty in damages arising from public works project delays. When a contractor fails to complete a public works project on time, public agencies seek damages from the contractor for the delay. Public works contracts usually contain specific dollar amounts that agencies can collect from contractors for each day they fail to meet their deadline. Recently, Several public agencies have begun using clauses in their contracts creating delay penalties for unspecified amounts. These undefined damages have led to situations where insurance companies, who are the ones usually who pick up the tab, cannot underwrite a project due to the uncertain level of risk. In other words, from a very specified amount, it's a nebulous amount, and thus insurance isn't able to be written in order to pay those costs. This measure restores certainty to public contracts by requiring agencies to set any delay damages in their contracts to a specific amount. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. Members, debate or discussion? Seeing none. Members, would there be any objection to unanimous roll call? Seeing and hearing none. Ayes 39, no 0. Measure passes. File item 154, Senator Hall. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 522 by Assemblymember Burke and Act relating to public contracts.
Senator Hall.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President and Senators. AB 522 directs the California Department of Technology to create and implement a standardized contract performance assessment report system when awarding reportable informational technology contracts and projects. As indicated in the recent state under the auditor's report, between 1994 and 2013, the state terminated or suspended 7 IT projects after spending nearly $1 billion. Currently, the state has about 44 IT projects under development that are reported to cost more than $4 billion. AB 522 will allow the state to evaluate how well contractors perform on these IT projects by creating a contractor performance assessment report system. AB 522 has received strong bipartisan support on behalf of Assemblywoman Autumn Burke. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Great. Thank you, Senator Hall. Members, debate or discussion? Senator Stone.
Thank you, Mr. President. I certainly appreciate the effort to account for these large cost overruns that have happened in the state and certainly in local governments. But what the study doesn't take into consideration is the public agencies' blunders in changing scopes of projects that has a lot to do with a lot of these cost overruns. So I'd like to ask the author, is that going to be a part of the Caltech study to look at the involvement of the local governments or state governments that might have contributed to those cost overruns?
Senator Hall, are you comfortable answering a question?
You should probably consult with Autumn Burke.
Okay. You've answered the question. Thank you.
Respectfully ask for aye vote.
Okay, members, any further debate or discussion? Senator Hall, I'm assuming that was your close? Okay. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen? Aye. Anderson? No. Bates? Bell? Aye. Berryhill? No. Block? Aye. Cannella? De Leon? Fuller? Gaines?
Aye.
Aye. Galgioni? Aye. Glazer? Aye. Hall? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Hernandez? Aye. Hertzberg? Aye. Hill? Aye. Hueso? Aye. Huff? No. Jackson? Aye. Lara? Leno? Aye. Leva? Aye. Lara, aye. Liu? Aye. McGuire? Aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mitchell? Aye. Monning? Aye. Morlock? Morrell? No. Wynn? No. Nielsen? Pan? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Roth? Aye. Runner? No. Stone? No. Vidak? No. Wachowski? Aye. Wolk? Wolk, aye.
Secretary, call the absent members.
Bates? No. Cannella? De Leon? Fuller? Morlock? Nielsen? Morlock, aye.
Ayes 27, noes 9. Measure passes. Members, we've got about 15 minutes. We'll just be taking these in numerical order. File item 155, 156, 157, and 158. Starting with file item 155, Senator Pan. Secretary, pass on file. Pass temporarily, yes. File item 156, Senator Wachowski. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 692 by Assemblymember Quirk, an act relating to greenhouse gases.
Senator Wachowski.
Mr. President, this matter helps support the state's low-carbon fuel goals by encouraging the development and the procurement of very low-carbon fuels. Now, a very low-carbon transportation fuel is defined as a liquid or gaseous fuel having no greater than 40% of carbon intensity of the closest comparable petroleum fuel. The author wanted to make sure that I explain that to folks. Basically, the bill requires that beginning in January 2017, very low carbon transportation fuels must comprise 3% of the total California transportation fuel portfolio. It increases 1% a year. We're not really picking a particular fuel or technology, but we're providing certainty in the very low carbon fuel market that California will be a stable purchaser. And I urge and I vote.
Thank you, Senator Wachowski. Members, debate or discussion? Any debate or discussion? Seeing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. No. Bates. No. Bell. Berryhill. No. Block. I. Canella. No. De Leon. Fuller. Gaines.
No?
No. Galgiani. Glazer. Hall. I. Hancock. I. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Hueso. I. Huff. No. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell. I. Monning. I. Morlock. Morrell. Morlock, no. Wynn. No. Nielsen. No. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. No. Stone. No. Vidak. No. Wachowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Secretary, please call the absent members.
Morrell, no. Bell. I. De Leon. Fuller. Galgiani. Glazer. Aye.
Ayes 24, noes 13, measure passes. Members, we're going to jump a little bit here to file item 163. Senator Pan.